tuned into the
high-functioning show.
In the place to be.
Don't shout, don't run, don't hide, don't sky. This is me coming to you natural and live.
Oh, yeah.
How y'all feel out there?
All right. And it goes a little something like this. 1, 2. Check this out.
This is High Functioning Show with Barry Brown. We have Gus Fink and Emi Boz. One of the most interesting couples I've seen here recently. Super creative. I came across Gus Fink on Instagram. Correct. And was really bewildered by a lot of your emotional art and creature kind of like creepy kind of stuff that I liked a lot. I think the first thing that I caught on was the Disneyland stuff, where you would take renditions of some like Disneyland pictures and just start going over them in
it's
fun ways.
Been something I've been doing for maybe 6 years now.
I feel like you've been doing it longer than that.
Yeah, I don't even know, but I've started doing it more often lately, and it's been working really well. So
yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing stuff to look at. Where I want to start with where did it all begin for you?
With my art career?
Yeah,
sure.
Like when was it? When did it start?
It's almost 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would start off pretty damn poor,
Yeah.
Like my rent at the time was $285. And so all I wanted to do was not have to work a job. And at first I was just making little pins and patches, handmade kind of stuff. Like I'd draw on canvas and be like, oh, there's a Sharpie, and spray it. And they probably didn't even hold up today.
Yeah.
But I would just sell that kind of stuff on eBay, like something I'd come up with a funny saying, and then I was like, this feels like work, like making this stuff. I just want to make. I remember being on the phone with some girl from California.
Yeah.
I met on like AIM or something. I was like, I would just be happy if I can make $35 off an original. That's what I was saying. Like, that's my dream.
Right. And that's a big deal.
At the time it was.
Yeah.
And so I started painting on cardboard, on an old dictionary I found in the garbage, just whatever I could that was really cheap. And I'm still kind of cheap, but I still paint on cardboard, as you've probably seen.
Cardboard, paper, dollars.
Yeah.
I see all sorts of crazy things that you paint on. They're so awesome.
I like doing that. Thank you. I like keeping that like punk rock kind of poor man thing, just because it's true to how I started. But it started off with a lot of that and setting little goals and getting there and setting another goal. I remember when I realized I was going to live off my art around that time, I had a little piece on cardboard sell for $72.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, yep, I'm going to be an artist for the rest of my life. And I was so happy, and I was pretty damn poor. I had an 85 Horizon, piece of crap car, really tiny. And I go, I'm going to celebrate. And I drove to Walmart and bought Pop-Tarts. and I was like happy. I was like, so it's like a perspective of where I started. And not that I'm a billionaire now or anything like that, but
you guys support your family and off art. Yeah. Which is insane when you think about it, right? Like in your brain, to your finger, to paint, and now you pay your bills.
Yeah, and I'm on a weird, like the way I hold my head with it all is weird. Like I know where I want to be, so I'm not close to where I want to be. So I don't even think I'm successful at any level. I know I am compared to so many people want to be an artist, and I'm grateful for that. But it's just where I want to go with it.
Well, a lot of people want to be an artist, but they don't want to put the work in. It's the romance of being an artist. It's like, oh, I want to be there already, but they don't realize you got to put in years of heartbreak, and rejection, and
and every
not knowing how you're going to pay your bills.
Right. That's the best part.
Yeah,
and I've had those moments, and still every day. I don't know. Like today is a down day for sales for me, and I'm like thinking about it a lot because I'm not. My head's not in the game. I've been traveling and stuff, but I don't think about it too much, and I meditate every day, and I'm trying to be thankful to the universe, and I pray every day now. I just started that like a month ago.
That's amazing.
And I just try to always, I'm trying to always grow.
Yeah.
And the older you get, you don't have to stop learning and growing. And I've been doing that because I would watch all that positive stuff. And I remember the one thing they always say is like, work on yourself. I go, I think I do. I go to the gym.
Yeah.
Or like, be obsessed. And I was like, I think I'm obsessed. And now I realize what obsession is because I'm kind of there. I work probably 10-hour days as the minimum.
Amazing.
To like 16-hour days.
That's grueling.
He's always on. Like.
Yeah. It's like, it's just constant constant doing it.
We rarely see friends, and when we do, he brings supplies.
I'll
to
just
work
bring
on
art.
and
I'll be
stuff.
like, you guys hang out and drink, and I'm just gonna.
He doesn't
paint.
drink.
Yeah.
He does not.
I don't drink either.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I like that she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Emi, you're an amazing artist as
thanks.
well.
I
You
try.
know, it's really interesting to find, you know, a dynamic like you guys. You know, you both have, you know, the freedom with expression and paint, and also are so close. I can tell just from meeting you guys in person today. You know, I can tell how close you guys are, and it's amazing to see art on that level. You know, like I see a reflection of both of you in both of your pieces. You know, what is the medium that you guys typically use? Is it
go first on it?
Water paint or?
My favorite right now is watercolor. I like to buy, but it's always mixed.
Yeah.
But I really like watercolor a lot. I'm just mixing in like acrylics and inks, pencils, gel pens. Like what is it? What are those thingies? Those the smeary stick thing.
China marker?
No, the color
Pastels?
one. Oil pastels.
Oil pastels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Not traditional pastels.
the oil pastels.
Yeah.
And I just like doing a mix of that and working on. I'll get fixated on a thing to work on. So like it might be wood one month, and then it might be just watercolor paper, and then he's like all over the place. He's like comic book page. Dude. But I
match. Burger King wrapper I found walking on the street. Like just crazy mediums. I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I really enjoy. I don't like doing the same thing twice. I mean, I do the same thing, especially when it works. I'm like, well, people really like that, so I should do it more. But for me, to keep my mentality, I like to try to find something new and different and have fun with it. See where it could go.
When you guys were young, let's say, you know, preteen, were you guys already kind of drawing at that point? Were you guys bit by that, like, you know, artist bug, being able to draw faces easily and stuff like that?
For me, like, I knew I wanted to be an artist when I was 6.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about art. I thought it was boring. When you look at the art I was taught, like in history, they're like, these are the artists, and it all seemed kind of boring. I didn't know there was cool artists that exist. Like, I didn't know Francis Bacon existed when I was a kid or anything like that. So I thought the newspaper strips, those guys were pretty cool. I thought that's art. I didn't realize animation on TV was art. I thought it was like computer weird magic. I didn't understand animation, but I wasn't a good artist at all when I was a kid. I was terrible. My mom always said, "You're the greatest artist in the world," because you know.
But she needs to do that, right?
Yeah, she does, and you know, she doesn't have it all. I'm sure she'd be listening. She's like my biggest fan still today. She looks at every article and everything, but if it wasn't for her telling me that all the time, it wouldn't have been this deep Planet C, because I sucked at everything else. Yeah, like, I mean, I never had a hit in baseball. Terrible student. Yeah, nothing I was good at in any capacity. So she saw I had an interest in art, not a big one, but I had an interest, and always told me that. So I kind of just slowly found myself doing it more, because I was the outcast, last picked, you know, no one wanted to be around me kind of guy in school, and I had nothing else going for me. So I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and daydream and think up and draw. And then it just kind of grew and grew and grew, and I believed in it. But I would always have people talking bad about my art, and I never had a teacher go, "Hey kid, you got it." Yeah, like, it never even close. Like, I remember they were doing with other kids, and I was like, oh, I guess I don't really have it. So.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen Gus and her art, they're crazy renditions of stuff. Like, one of the pieces that I was staring at last night was your Beetlejuice, and it's just so vibrant, and the colors are so insane. The way that they clash, and it's just the detail, the attention that you put into detail is definitely an obsession. Yeah. And I can tell when I look at artists how deep they go, and it's just the blends and the shading. It's just so beautiful, and it's crazy that I can get like an actual physical copy of your original work, because I'm typically trying to buy a print. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I'll paint, and you like do these crazy things. And the other thing that I've noticed about you is how busy you are. Yeah. Literally every other day, I see you just posting original stuff. Right. And I think that's a lot of these artists that the typical artists don't really do that, because they're just they're not open to the public like that. I guess they're trying to like build this frame of like, I do this certain amount every couple months, and it's more of a, you know, a way to kind of like showcase their art and keep it hard to get. I love that about you, that I can literally, you know, like, oh, well, here, I'm putting this online. If you want it, it's original and it's dope.
Well, yeah, and what I put up, I'm always selling the print of it.
Okay.
On those like auctions I do daily. The originals are always offered for more.
Yeah.
But the reason why I do that is because I've been living off for a long time, and just recently, maybe 6 months ago, stuff started really taking off online for me. For so long, I'd be looking on and go, this guy just started making art, and he's got like a way huge following, and I was like, it felt weird that I've done things and been one, but like I was a nobody when it came online.
You just weren't trying to play the game, that's all. Like you didn't care.
It all connected at the same time, because I used to be able to make art, and I'd make really tiny, quick pieces, and I'd just be happy to get those out and sell them like really fast. 5-minute piece of art, boom. And I was thinking, okay, I'll be a little bit of money. And now I don't think that way anymore. I knew I had to change, so now I think, let me just sit down and make a really good piece and get it out there and see what I could do and how many prints I can move. And if someone wants to pay more, they can get original, and I could slowly keep increasing the prices on the originals as the demand. And that's kind of what's been happening, and starting to get more gallery shows now, which is helping that too.
Yeah.
Typically, the pieces that I see you guys do, and Gus, is, you know, they look like around 10 by 10.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I use for the prints are smaller, but larger works I do make. Like I have. And it's all the demand on it. Like I love to paint a big 5-foot painting, but who's gonna put out the money for it? It's less, you know. Common. I've been getting some commissions that are larger that I love doing, and that's really exciting. And then I can make a print off that too. It's just, it scales down a little bit weirder than when it's already small, you know. But,
have you guys ever done any murals? Any mural stuff?
Not yet. No.
Yeah.
Not really. No. Yeah, and like. I'm always pushing her to do, like, I'm obsessed, so I try to think that she could do the same thing as me.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
But so she's always building more, and I'm always just trying to.
I've been doing more and more. It's just you're like psychotic about it. Like he's like, you know, when somebody tells you to do something, you get mad and you're like, I'll do it on my own and won't do it now. And like it's like I get it's like the woman gene in me where I don't want someone telling me to do that, but I'll do. I have been stepping up my game. Like
she has been, and like I'm like the biggest fan of her work.
Yeah,
you know,
for
so
sure.
I'm always get excited when she does the best work that she can do, because I don't think she's showing her full potential, and I see that I used to not show my full potential. So I'm just want her to do the same. I think she will naturally anyways, but I probably drive her crazy from it.
Like I'll be in charge of a project like the jewelry thing I was telling you about, like the company, it's like all me back and forth with them, and I feel like sometimes he'll hover and be like, are you doing, but like I'll do everything, and he's like, that's what you're gonna, okay, like, okay, that's how you're gonna answer that email, okay, and I get like mad sometimes.
Yeah, I have to step out more, because
and I handled it. I sent out all those originals and signed all the things.
You do toy design, you do jewelry, you do like a bunch of like different like sculptures. Like, are you where do you start from? You know, when you attack a toy, is it just something that you do in a drawing and then start building it out from there?
Most of all the toy designs is I ask him to do the sketch of a character. I say, draw something, and then I'll take his drawing and I'll make it 3D really easily, like fast. I can do the best out of that way. So, and
are you just doing like 3D prints of them? Or?
No, I'm hand sculpting them.
Crazy.
Hand sculpt them. I got it. Like, you can give me the wackiest character and I can make them stand.
And then we'll send it for mass production.
Yeah, like send it to the company and they make molds of it. And then, like, we had a line of toys out that I had to sculpt. How many of those? 24 characters? I sculpted 24 characters.
Which one are we talking about?
Creeplings.
Yeah, Creeplings.
I sculpted 24 characters, all about like maybe like an inch or two big. And they all had to be able to stand, and they were all bizarre shapes. And I was like,
these are a PVC, kind of like a Shopling. If you know those, they're really popular. Shopkins. Shopkins. The smaller blind box kind of.
Got it.
It was like a blind box, the kind of thing. But yeah, so I usually go from his drawings and make my own sculptures. Unlike the jewelry thing, was based off of my characters, and the company, they sculpted it. I drew it. and then they sculpted it because they're gonna have to have somebody sculpt it anyways to make it work as a bead.
And you guys do like limited runs, like you do like a certain amount of certain types, and you guys just put them out for the public to grab. Or
we haven't done too much limited run stuff yet.
Okay,
That's what we're trying to get into. Is
we have a 3D printer. We just
I just don't know how to use it, and I gotta sit down and read a manual. And all my friends that do 3D printing's like, oh, it's gonna take you like 3 months.
It didn't come with instructions. We got it for free.
right.
You know, the company that we
But
make
the
jewelry
scanners
with,
aren't good for it still.
Yeah.
So we have to get the program with ZBrush, right? We'd need to get
Most
that.
likely.
Yeah, you
something
need
like
to
that.
run it through a ZBrush for sure.
Yeah. We don't know that program.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like probably like 4 months worth of reading, and it's the slacker in me that's like,
Yeah, but there's ZBrush artists out there that you could definitely like partner with that will kind of like
Yeah,
Get 'em to do it, yeah.
That might be a good idea. I've worked with one before on a project. It never came out yet, but it's this big robot complex thing, and but we never put it out yet. So I don't know, but it looked pretty good.
And then your prints, you do like serigraphs and lithographs of some of the stuff you've done.
G clay or whatever.
Yeah, for now it's like an open-ended G clay, not too many limited stuff yet.
Yeah.
Depending on the piece, some stuff we do limited, but I haven't done anything too big yet. Like that rapper that's from this area, Nick Mensa, I believe his name. Is it
Vic Mensa.
Vic Mensa, that's
Nick,
it.
Yeah,
it's close.
he hit you up for a piece.
He hit me for like a larger one, so we got a really nice print done for him, and he paid a few $100 for it.
Yeah.
But it was,
It was
more,
big.
more
It
so
was
the
like
size that you have in
poster
here.
size. It was 36 by 24.
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
like closer to 36 by 24.
Yeah.
So.
And you typically do more like creature, more like a darker, fun, like designs, right? It's kind of like your realm. What would you, I don't like people to categorize themselves, but when you look at art, I see reflections of influences, and I feel like I can see The Shining, and I can see, all these different kind of influences, even like throwback 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah.
The Gremlins we were talking about earlier, the Keenan and Peele piece, which was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. You should watch it if you're especially a Gremlin fan.
Yeah.
What were typical your guys' like influences on your art,
Yeah, you want to take that first?
I'm trying to think. I always liked spooky stuff, so I mean, I guess the easy thing to say is I grew up liking Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
I liked spooky, creepy video games like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Parasite Eve. A lot of like anime influenced me a lot. I was one of those kids that started drawing anime, and then when I met Gus, actually, he was like, "Yo, you can't keep doing anime. It's not a style. It's not your style. There's a country full of that style. Like you got to figure out yourself." So I just started he said, try not to look at stuff, draw stuff that you see in your head. So we both try not to be influenced by other stuff. Like we don't actively seek out other artists, because then if you do, then you accidentally start influence yourself with your own work.
Yeah, and for me, I'm kind of inspired by every single thing.
Right.
My natural favorite thing to do is have no idea what's going to happen.
Got it.
Approach it, and it's like live entertainment for me, where it's all forming and coming alive. But what I've changed about that is now I'll know, like when you mention Shining or something, I'll be like, I should make a Shining piece. I love The Shining. I think a lot of other people will probably want to get that.
Right.
So I'll do that just so I know that I like to mix the marketing. You'll see that on my posts and stuff. I'll be like, pop culture thing, weird thing from my head, maybe something else, and then back to like a pop culture type of thing. And so I try to keep that flow mix, and I see people appreciate, some people hate some stuff, and I'll lose followers a little bit from it, like, whatever,
Yeah.
But or like I'll get like a negative comment, like, why are you posting this kind of like stuff,
Right.
Well, there's people like
but you can't please everybody. I'm just trying to make what I enjoy, and it's the style, I guess. We talked about this before, is like a dark creativism. I don't even know the word I'm going for.
I don't even know what word that is either, but that's an awesome word.
Creativism,
You just
prevalent.
you got to just. How long does it like? So that Beetlejuice post that I saw painting. How long does something like that take to do?
Well, it's smaller, so it's probably 4 hours, 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And so you just start with like outlines, and then just like attacking it,
and that, like for that in particular piece, which I'm will probably be flashing up right now. that starts with looking at like a reference, obviously.
Okay.
You know, because I love doing it for my head, but you have to get them looking right.
Right.
I'll start with references and looking at different photos and stuff and seeing what works, and then keep layering it, and starts with just make sure the outline's right. I might even use a light box to get it perfect, and then go on and transfer that, layer it and layer it and layer it until it's like feels like the energy's there, you know.
And the you know, what artists are you guys into right now? You know, I like to ask that question to creatives like you guys.
That's a tough question. I would go with I'm gonna say her, but that's way too biased.
I would say you.
No, but I mean, I love a lot of artists. Like I just curated a show here. That's one reason I'm out here at the Black Sheep
Gallery.
Black Sheep
In
Gallery.
Burbank, yeah.
So I picked like friends or people I've kind of connect with online. Sophia Rapata, you know, an old friend of mine I convinced to be an artist, Jesse Reno. People like that. I appreciate their work. I don't own a lot of their work, but I've worked with them. I've collaborated with both those people. You know, Creep Tunes, the guy who I did the animation with, I appreciate what he does, but I don't get too excited about their artists in a sense, because I just want to get in my own world and head and see what I could do. So I love tons of art. Like I really dig that Porky Pig piece you got hanging up.
Yeah, the OG Slick. Yeah.
That's the three little pigs from the cartoon. I think those are Porky.
You know, and
close enough.
But at the same time, like I don't go out of my way to get art in the house, because we have a lot of our own hanging up.
Yeah, we have so much art hanging up. Like people come in our house and they're like, what?
I'm just a weird person. Like I was saying before, like I don't even buy anything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
he has had so many of the same clothes.
That's awesome. I mean, me too.
Him,
yeah.
But I just like to make the toy instead, and then I'll have like, oh, there's the prototype of that toy that I made.
Yeah, like we have prototypes all over our house and
to me that's like special. But I know it's kind of a weird thing, because it's like too much in my own head, my own world, you know. But
yeah, but you do your best being there.
Yeah, I kind of have to be.
It's weird to take him out of his element. I could see.
Yeah, like you could take me to Disney World, and the whole time I'm gonna be thinking, what would my theme park look like?
Yeah,
right.
Like he's just.
I would have done it differently. I would have done this and that, and I get inspired by it. But I don't get to go through and enjoy. Oh yay! Like that.
He doesn't
was great.
get lost in stuff.
Yeah. I can't.
What about music wise? Do you what's your like favorite kind of genre of music? And
I have like a main thing that gets me going is like weird death metal.
Okay.
And like, I find new stuff all the time, so I don't even remember names.
Okay.
There's this one thing I've been listening to today. It's got like, they speak in French.
Oh, awesome.
And then they scream in English.
Crazy.
And it's this mix, and it's, this is amazing. I love it. So I've been listening to that now, but then I listen to like really mellow, chill stuff. Just, it's kind of to set your mood, you know. But I like to have a lot of energy, and I got a lot of darkness in me. So I was like, and I, you know, something to work out to, something to get motivated and pumped up. But
what about you, Emi?
I like basically anything except country. I can't get into country.
That's like the typical thing.
Yeah, like
no country.
Yeah, I can't, because I think it's because of too many things associated in the past with people I don't like country. Right. Or like I feel like but I mean, if people like country, that's cool. Like,
yeah. You listen to hip hop?
I do. I like anything if it's good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
you could tell someone put something behind it.
Yeah, like I like Nirvana. I'll listen to Korn still.
Yeah, we love
9 Inch
Korn.
Nails. What was that one? What's that one band? Oh, I like the musician Amanda Palmer. That she plays piano. I love her. I was like obsessed with her for a long time.
It's crazy now. It's like I'm getting older, because like I talk to people that never heard of 9 Inch Nails, never heard of Korn.
Yeah.
You know, you see Jonathan Davis here all the time. Like I remember seeing him at you know, the Rainbow Room here on Sunset.
That's funny.
That's a good friend of ours, the Magliari family. They own the Whiskey and the Rainbow. And,
okay.
And growing up, you know, I was just at the Rainbow all the time, and like you'd see Jonathan there, you'd see all these really cool like rock and roll guys just hanging out, grabbing a beer. You could just chat with them about their stuff, you know.
That's cool.
So it's really cool to be here in Los Angeles, because you get to see these artists all the time. When people ask me like, how do I get to meet a celebrity or a rocker? I'm like, just go to Whole Foods. Yeah. You know, go to the grocery store right there. Like they're there just getting raisins and grains, you know?
Yeah. That's funny.
A cool French, if you should listen to some French hip hop, there's 3 bands. One of them's called NTM, Not Dem Mal, or something like that, which means like F your mom. But they're really cool hip hop, and they kind of get super aggressive in it. And then this guy named Booba, he's pretty good. You were talking about French. I listened to that. And another guy named MC Solar. He's like a poet in French. I don't know what they say. I usually have to Google
That sounds
and
good.
see, but it's just super sick, and the guy screams and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And you guys are out here for the Monster Palooza.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Yeah.
At the convention.
Monster Palooza gallery show opening at the Black Sheep Gallery. Like he was telling you, he curated it with the gallery owner, and then we were just doing different like TV show pitches like throughout the week. Or just meetings.
You're an active couple.
We're very active.
Yeah,
it's every day. We don't know what's like. This isn't typical because we're out here.
Yeah.
But when we're in Delaware, it's usually always like, "Got this, not this. Did you do that? We got it." It's
this,
this constant.
Are you tracking on this?
You guys bounce off each other.
Yeah, and then like if I run into a problem with a project, I go to her and she helps me because she could do what I can't do, and I could do what she can't do.
Right.
So
and that's why you guys are perfect.
Math, and he can do math, not math.
And I get bad with words like creative.
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's stupid."
Like I'll just say it like to correct you once, and then you usually you got it.
Yeah. So
you guys brought a bunch of art from Delaware with you guys for the booth and stuff like that.
we brought some stuff for that, and then we shipped stuff to the gallery.
Which just one of the thing boxes just got here today. They had it like in the Los Angeles distribution center for like 8 days. They were like, ba-da-da, and I was like, everything.
Yeah, we just arrived today. When our last meeting, we got notified on that. And then another gallery texted me out in Chicago and was like, "Hey, your one painting is destroyed."
I have no idea because
horrible.
I packed it in a big 14 by 14 inch box and wrapped it, and there was space all around, so it looks like somebody jumped on the box.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like salvage it and make it work.
Make it cooler.
Yeah, it's just because it's just canvas on the wood, and the wood got messed up. So I'm gonna
the wood got cracked. I
do
saw the
something
pictures.
to it. It'll be fine. I've had to do that in the past. That's one of the luxuries with my art. It's so raw sometimes. And
the weather looks great. You know, you want to weather it down and stuff.
You could fix it. Whereas if it was like a metal sculpture, it was amazing. It's like, oh, the arm's off. I don't know if it'd work. You know. So.
Yeah. True.
And so at the Monster Palooza, you guys have a booth. Are you going to be doing any live painting there? Sometimes people, if you go, they're like sitting there.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be trying to do that because it makes me feel good just to have something.
Yeah, I can't just sit there and stare at people passing us. I'll start losing my mind, like, and get show depression.
We kind of get in that showmanship. You kind of have to.
You gotta you gotta stand. You gotta be pleasant. You gotta be. You can't sit there staring at your phone or people are like.
Right.
Well, it's a great place. Like again, when I hit up Gus, I was like, you know what, Gus, I think your art's super dope. I want to like do an interview with you. And then we started talking about film and horror film and stuff like that. And Monster Palooza, when I was there, everyone's there. Yeah. And they're so approachable. And
I heard Pee Wee Herman's gonna be there.
Yeah, that's like I'm probably gonna roll up for sure and try to take a picture with them. But it's a grind, and I think it's amazing that you have two of you on the grind, because when I see a lot of artists, they also have to be creative. They have to be super in tune with art that they're trying to come out with that's marketable, right? But then they have to do the business side. Then they got to go out and network, and it's hard to see a person do it. And typically it's hard to get a good manager that can do that. When you find like a power couple like both of you that have that direction of like understanding each other's strengths, and both are artists and dope artists. That's like a hard combination. Yeah. There's one couple that I see out there. They collaborate a lot. I think My Dab's LA. I don't know if you ever saw them. I haven't heard of them. They're on Instagram. Totally different stuff. Like they do like little funny characters with like flowers and stuff. But I always see them like, wow, like those people were meant to be together. Like you can tell they found that secret connection.
Yeah, it helps because when one of us is freaking out, the other one will calm us. Like the other one, calm one. Somebody's freaking out. Somebody's like, sha sha sha.
Do you guys have like so you guys just everything is direct to market, right? It's just you two run the business. And
pretty much. And we've worked with different like licensing agents and stuff and different kinds of agents because we work, the way I see it is we work in every part of the entertainment industry. We're just not a big name or a big company. Yeah. Right. So we've developed video games and app games and
like we're on Steam, we're in Hot Topic and Spencer's and
that's awesome.
Different stores. But like I like it when companies license our stuff and then they take care of all of it. Yeah, we just get like a royalty check.
But I don't know if I answered your question or not. But we'll make it and it gets out there and then we produce it. She usually ships and packs everything because we've had interns in the past, but it's hard to get someone you trust. Right now, we work out of the house.
Right.
Yeah, our studio's in our house.
We're hoping to get a different house in the next year or two, and have a larger space, and maybe get some interns or something to help us.
Yeah, it's just you don't know who you're getting with an intern. Like you don't know how dedicated they are, and they mess up. You don't know. You can't see it. Like I see and run everything, so I know when somebody has a specific request. I know. Like I have my own crazy system.
Her memory is insane.
Like, I have a photographic
I could
memory.
be like,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
John Dobbs. I know his address. It's
I'll be like, it's
625.
he got this. I sent it that day. Here's the receipt.
She's got one of those kind of like flash memories that I don't have. But
so it's hard when I try to play stupid. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I call her out on it.
I see a lot of beautiful artwork on you guys. The pieces, some of them are the ones you guys have drawn yourself.
Yeah, well, or at least characters. Like the video game I was talking about, I got some characters from that. Fright Show Fighter, it's Faceless and Monster Girl and Crumblejack. And throughout the years, and I'll just kind of have it. It just feels like right on me. I know what some people are like, that's the douchiest thing you could do. But it just makes me feel more like unique.
For sure.
You know,
and you have the skill to paint and draw.
Yeah, and that's why I do. I just try to be like, I want to design myself. Because when I was a little kid, like I said, I was like the lowest. I don't know if I mentioned that here or that was my last meeting, but I was like the biggest outcast, loser there was. And I would envision who I wanted to become. So really, I just kind of created this guy from being this little, fat loser kid that I was. And I was just like, so that's part of it. It's just like, designing your own avatar in a video game and then becoming it kind of thing. So
yeah, I feel like that. I was like just weird bangs, like quiet, weird kid, only child.
I'm an only child too.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
I have half brothers, my dad, but
I got nothing.
yeah, but I don't hang out with them.
Yeah. So, but I just started exercising and dyeing my hair and getting tattoos and
It just all worked out.
doing makeup, watching YouTube videos to learn how to do my makeup.
Right.
And then now I'm like, I feel like younger me would have been like, yeah.
YouTube is the best instructor, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I want to build an engine for a 1945 Cadillac or whatever. Like,
Yeah, you're
there's
like-
some dude on there's like, all right, bud, let me show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't learn that way, but she could.
I can, yeah.
She could learn by watching a video and then do it. And
Yeah, like this is gonna sound the most boring thing, but a washer went in our bathtub. The water's leaking from one of the faucets, and it's not ever the faucet that's the problem. It's this little rubber piece in the handle, and it just leaks. So like I know how to take it apart now and fix it.
because of YouTube?
Yeah, because of YouTube.
That's
But I
sick.
haven't done it. I'm doing it when we get home. But like that's the issue. Like they're like, put your ear to the thing and listen. And I was like, he's right.
I think that's going to change the future. too.
Yeah.
I think the educational system, they're going to be like, look, why are we teaching kids this crazy stuff that we're not going to use?
Yeah.
And every kid knows they could go somewhere and find exactly how to do something. So I think that 20 years from now, the educational system, either it's going to be this way it is now and it's not going to make any sense. Like, why are we doing that? Or it's going to be this whole new thing about how you could become, this is something I always tell her, it's like a unique, valuable commodity. I call it UVC.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, you don't have a guaranteed job in your life.
There's nothing's guaranteed anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you need to be valued yourself.
Yeah, it's the old way used to be you get a job.
They pay your health insurance.
Yeah, and like my brother and dad would like yell at me about that when I started my art, and they go, what are you doing? Get a real job. Be a real man.
Yeah.
Get a real job.
Right.
And then they lost their jobs and they had to switch to jobs.
You get fired right before you can retire and get your pension or whatever.
And like I only made a few $100 a month back then, and I was like, I'm starting to do better than
You're
them.
the commodity.
Yeah.
You're
and
your
it's
own
like
commodity.
I don't ever plan on retiring. I'm not afraid of my job going away, but I know every day when I wake up, I don't know where my next dollar is going to come from. So
you just work hard.
You have to grind at it.
You have to keep going. And I think that's what's amazing about it. When someone takes a leap, and in this case, it's both of you, taking a leap and saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to that point, but it's just going to get done, you know, and putting the art together. it's a breath of fresh air, because I'm typically used to a lot of street artists, a lot of contemporary modern artists and stuff like that. But I love creature design. I love sculptures and critters and cool, the spooky stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When I came across you, I was like, yo, who's this guy? And it's like that Disneyland piece. If you haven't seen the Disneyland piece, you got to go to Gus Fink's Instagram right now, because he does all these different renditions of it. It's like a happy family in a picture that he'll take, and then he'll just draw like fucked up faces and like weird stuff on their face, and it's like, come to Disneyland for the prayers of life, like just like crazy cool stuff. And it's so like fun to watch, because that's what I think Disneyland is. It's kind of creepy,
Yeah, I would love to do to grow as I'm doing this and make a film with Disney. Yeah, that's like based on that.
Yeah,
I heard that you heard of Dead Mouse. Yeah. So I heard that he had a show at the House of Blues at California Adventureland, which is like Disneyland, and someone had booked them. They were just booking a show and doing a House of Blues, and Disneyland caught wind that there's a guy named Dead Mouse. This is before he was like super huge playing.
I remember this.
I remember this. They sued him.
Yeah, and they like didn't allow their show to go on because his name was Dead Mouse at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Disney's a super interesting company. I've heard to work with in certain ways on how they do. But I saw the cryptic TV stuff that you did. That one. How long was that short? Would you say?
3 minutes,
3 minutes,
yeah. What's the name of it again?
Creep Tunes.
Creep Tunes, yeah. If you take a look at Creep Tunes, this was like all self-funded, like, just like you guys just put together a really cool little short on Cryptic TV on Facebook, and you can see it on YouTube, obviously. Yeah. You can see this like animation stuff. I really want to see you dive down the film world. Yeah. Because,
thank you.
Artists like you guys and creatives like you guys belong definitely in the film business, because you guys have visions, and the way that you create your vision and you can paint it, it's like you're designing your own film, period. I mean, the way that I looked at scripts, because I'm not a filmmaker, but the way that I would attack them would be all storyboards, and and art, and people are like, no, you need to do a treatment, and you need to do your Bible, and you need to know, like, and I'm like, no, I want to do an animated storyboard to see how my movie looks. That's how I want to write it.
Well, and that's what they end up doing. They do test screenings. They watch the animatic of the storyboard.
I would just start there though, and I've always thought my writer's room would be like a bunch of student artists that are dope, and we just sit there and be like, all right, let's start drawing scenes. Like, this is what I want to do.
Right. Yeah, as long as you know what you want to do, for sure.
So I think you definitely need to dive down that wormhole with film immediately. Because I know that's where we kind of vibed out too.
Yeah, we had a really good phone call about it. And, I mean, I've directed a bunch of short films with no money, like live action stuff, and we've done some animation stuff, and I'm slowly getting into that world, and every chance I get, that's why we talked about it, is like I want to make that feature film, and then because I have all these ideas in my head, and I think when I go to the movies, there's not that many that excite me. Maybe 3 a year where you're like, I gotta see that. That's amazing. And then 2 of those might disappoint me, and one you're like, that's the movie of the year. So I want to make all these amazing movies so that.
What's the last film you guys really, really dug?
Well, I'm going to mention 2 only because she said she hated country music. And I don't want middle America hating us.
I didn't say I hate.
We saw that.
She's not into it.
We saw the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga movie. Okay. And I thought it was well done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's not our type of movie at all.
But you guys are a couple, and it's.
But it was enjoyable, and I realized like after we sat down, I go, wait, this is a chick flick.
Yeah.
I saw it around, but that was fun. That was last year. I don't know what happened last year. It was really good.
The song was really good.
Yeah, the song
was really good.
That was kind of country. I thought Bradley Cooper did an amazing job trying to be a country guy.
Yeah.
I was like, he did it.
Yeah, he did do a good job.
Like that was pretty cool. He sounded all rustic and.
Yeah, how you doing there, bud?
Yeah, it was great. But like that was maybe one of the biggest movies of that year. The year before.
I thought it was good. I thought they did a good job with it.
The last movie I think that I really enjoyed was it.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with it.
They should have won some award on that. I don't know if they did. But
yeah, I can't wait to see the new one.
The new one looks like it's going to be
Are you guys into Game of Thrones?
Actually, no. We don't.
Wow.
I've watched
about 5 episodes, and the reason I'm not in it because she told me like she's not gonna watch it.
You gotta dive in. I'm telling you.
There's so many years I've missed out on.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
We'll
such a
probably
dedication.
watch it in 10 years and we'll be like, it's a pretty good show.
It gets, again, I wasn't ever into shows like that. I'm not into chick flicks.
Yeah.
Me and my girl.
Oh yeah, we don't.
I won't watch them.
typically.
She only watches horror films with me, and she's not into horror films, but she knows sci-fi or horror film.
Yeah.
I'll only pay attention to.
Yeah.
Right.
When it gets to like lovey-dovey stuff, I'm falling apart.
And I'm the same way usually. I usually
Yeah.
really hate that stuff, but I just thought like that was a well done.
Yeah, I don't watch chick flicks. I can't.
And like that's the only one we accidentally watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got there and I was like, oh, this is a love story. I didn't even. That was so dumb. I didn't even realize.
We'll use any excuse to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the
can.
whole thing.
You know what?
with
I really
popcorn.
liked Thor Ragnarok. I was laughing
She laughed
hysterically.
really
at
hard.
That was a really funny movie.
Oh, yeah.
They hit it out of the park with that.
And
one.
I thought it was
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
suck because like I've seen some other Marvel movies and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of it because when there's a lot of daylight
Yeah.
with a horror movie with a
Marvel
super
movies.
Yeah.
hero
Marvel
movie,
does more daylight,
I'm like a bunch of guys running around the daylight. I don't know.
Yeah.
but it was
But,
hilarious.
that one was
Yeah, they
really
did an
fun.
amazing job. I had friends that were like, dog, that was like watching Richard Pryor. Like
Yeah.
that was like insanely funny.
Yeah.
It was
She
nonstop.
laughed the loudest in the whole thing.
Yeah, I might have been annoyed.
I laugh at movies in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And like literally when they're bad.
Yeah.
And people get uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So like the one, and I don't care, I'm sorry guys, like I hated Aquaman. And
We didn't see that.
I didn't see it. I
Like-
knew it was gonna be bad.
Oh, it was, and again, it's like I think it was James Wan. I don't know who directed it, but it was like I remember watching it and just laughing, like at how horrible it was,
Yeah.
and people were like, "Shut up!" Like, and it's for kids. I get it, but
Yeah,
I'm a
but
kid.
you're allowed to have your own experience in a movie theater. Everybody's if it's a genuine emotion and you're not being a dick, then that's
what you
how you
think
feel.
from it.
You think it's funny. It's America. Laugh
It
like
was probably shot in a green room the whole thing, right?
Like, let me tell you one of the scenes. Like, one of the scenes, there's something bad happens and the guy gets hurt, and then it cuts to them like on a boat, and you start hearing a flute, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, do not tell me the other magical, water goddess is playing a flute on a boat right now, bro.
Yeah.
And she's just like playing a flute like a genius, and I'm like, dude, this is so bad. So I started laughing. I'm like, don't tell me she's playing a flute. And he's like in her, in a boat, and she's playing a flute, and it's like that
See,
silhouette part.
And that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Is that movie made a ton of money,
100%.
and it scares me that I go, what if I'm doing the wrong thing? What if that's what the world's gonna be like in 15 years?
It is.
And I don't want to wake up to that. That's why I want to make these movies and be like, no, we could make really good movies still.
Yeah.
We could The Shining is probably my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of ours.
And it's like we could do that even with a cheesy idea. We could shoot it beautifully. I thought Us was shot beautifully. I thought the writing on that one was kind of flawed compared to his
I think
first
I
film.
think Get Out was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought Us was mediocre.
Yeah, I agree.
It felt totally low budget, which I'm not against, but it didn't feel like, he hit it out. Like when you go low budge, right? You got to put a lot more into the writing.
Yeah, I thought the writing was lacking, but he shot it. Well, the DP shot it really beautifully.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, it was shot beautifully. But I didn't think it was scary and too many questions. I was
the way
like,
they talked, it was awkward. And then like the dad, like, come on, dude, you
sucked.
got to be a more hero, homie.
Yeah,
like
I
your
mean,
family's getting like jacked up. What are you doing?
he's like, oh, my foot
I
hurts.
think what happened with it was he probably took a long time to get out. Made,
Yeah.
And then it was such a hit. They go, you need another film. He goes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's like, here we go. How's that? Like,
Yeah.
and then it's done. It's written.
Us was mediocre. The first Twilight Zone, the comedian, did you guys see that
Yeah,
on
we did
YouTube?
see
Yeah,
that.
on YouTube.
Again, like I wasn't
Did
really
he have
into
anything
it.
to do with that besides the host?
No, I think that was the issue, is that he didn't get to write them.
Oh, okay.
You want him
Just
to
the
write.
host job. Yeah.
Yeah, so Us, again, to me, Us sucked. I thought there was on a writing level was cool. I think
Very creative.
Visually
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was
Idea cool. Having it work, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to me.
it
I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what, how. Well, I had to say how too many times. In that
But maybe
movie.
if we found that movie in 1997, it'd be the best movie of all time
Yeah.
to us. Maybe we would have been like, "What? Did you guys see Us?"
Yeah.
It-
Get
yeah.
Out was insane. I thought Get
Yeah.
Out
yeah, that was
so
good. That was a
awesome.
good
pretty
one.
brilliant.
That one was brilliant. But Us, I was just like,
It's once those studios get involved and they push you, and it's
yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, The Shining, again, it's like, why do we have to go so back in time to be like, that's our favorite movie?
Yeah.
Why isn't there, people coming out with, films these days. So like to me, one of the best, and I think we talked about it, but one of the best horror films that I've seen is not even categorized as a horror film of my generation. It's There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
If you know Paul Thomas Anderson that did Boogie Nights and Magnolia and stuff like that, There Will Be Blood to me, I've seen like 60 times now.
Oh, it's amazing, beautifully shot, and it puts you in there.
Super creepy. This guy, in the desert, and he's just like crawling. The music, it's just insane, and it's hard to find pieces like that.
One?
Yeah.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah, that to me is a horror film.
Yeah.
Like in many ways, it's also categorized what it is, but it's like, where's people pushing the boundaries right now?
Yeah.
In film, like why is Stanley Kubrick just still holding the torch on his side, and no one's coming out with the modern day masterpieces, especially with horror films. Like horror doesn't have to be blood and guts.
Right.
It's the unknown, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's like Alfred Hitchcock. It's like, when he shot that famous scene with the shower, like women did not take a shower for like a year alone.
Well, I think part of it is we glamorize the past.
Yeah.
For one, and sometimes we might miss what's happening. But the other thing is, I think too many people are getting lost in money and just not paying attention to the right stuff. I mean, I don't really know, but I believe the future is going to have good movies, and I believe I'll be able to make an impact in that.
1,000%, I believe you could.
Or I'll be dead. But I think it's going to happen, and I'm excited for it.
The studios want the for sure bets. They want to keep reinvesting in Marvels, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Taking that risk, you know what I'm saying, is a hard thing to do. And my friend had a show before. It was a big one. I'm not going to say because it's but the way that he said that but no, he had a big show and they didn't go past the 3rd season. And he the whole time was sitting with the studio saying, why are we spending money on marketing here, dude? Like he said, the people in that room are so old and outdated and they're just there for a check and it's just like corporate. Some people when he was saying we need to invest in marketing on social platforms way more than the billboard on Sunset. Do you not understand? Yeah. We need to target the audience directly than, getting a blimp in the sky with the billboard. And that was the issue with them because his stuff was genius. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta know what the show is now.
I'll tell you off camera. Right, cool. But and they just didn't market right, and they spent millions of dollars on this stuff.
Right.
And again, his show was phenomenal. So it's crazy that now it's the independent market, and I feel people like you have the brush to kind of make everything come to life and the brain power to do so. And my problem is I can't draw. Like I can't, and I can visualize the character, but when I try to draw them, it just doesn't come out.
Right.
And I always felt like the people that are directors and writers also probably have a lot of like power in drawing, like James Cameron.
Yeah.
Like
he draws a lot. Okay.
Well, I don't know if he draws, but I went to a film art school, and like I heard James Cameron was like doing these like, and like he would say, here's the anime, the sculpture I want you guys to do. Okay, and then he would come in and like judge everybody's, and some like kid was like, oh, you can't do that. And he was like, what? And like he like took clay and just started like hacking away at it and was super dope. Who knows if that story was true, but it was the biggest.
I see James Cameron on his bed on a laptop typing that story and just posting it to Reddit. And then James Cameron, dude, like put it out there.
So you'll be at the Monsterpalooza this weekend. The Black Sheep Gallery you have
Saturday.
It's also Saturday.
On Saturday.
Saturday night. When's the opening? The at 7 or?
I think we might be running late, but but we're gonna do that, and then Sunday night we're meeting with a producer from Bob's Burgers and some other people, and like a second idea that we didn't
a different
pitch
show
yet,
thing,
that we're just starting out. We had a good meeting before we got
phase.
here. I mean, we're hustling, man.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
you guys are an inspiration.
Thank you, man.
Me and my girl, we just chill and watch movies, and I play Call of Duty.
And the only thing, and the only reason I'm obsessed is because like I want to wake up an old man and feel like there's some cool stuff happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
And not be like, I could have fucking done something and I didn't.
And then I'll come in with that cool DNA rejuvenation stuff that we should have by then and stick them in the neck, and then we'll be back to looking 20.
Yeah, I hope I look younger.
Yeah.
You look like you're 24.
I appreciate
Ooh, that's a good one.
76 years old.
Yeah. You age really well. You age really, really well.
Time travel.
Yeah.
And eat a deer whole. Like, don't stop. Just eat the whole thing. And you can't waste the drop.
And you're in you guys are in Delaware.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever want to check out Gus Fink and Emi Boz on Instagram.
At Instagram.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
names.
at Gus Fink, not at Gus Fink.
Yeah, at Instagram. Okay, you're done.
Yeah. We're like old men. Like, at AOL.com.
Let me get out my BlackBerry and...
Yeah, and they'll be at Monsterpalooza this weekend. So, you guys want to go check them out. I'm going to come be your biggest fan and probably just buy a bunch of stuff.
We'll be there. Either losing our minds or having a blast.
I have a book of originals I brought with me.
Oh, really?
Little originals, but I brought them.
Yeah, we brought that little
like the matchstick stuff and the dollar bill stuff, too.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of goodies in there. I didn't even see what he put in there. Usually I organize everything and didn't do that. That was all you. So we'll see what originals he left laying around the house that in places out of place, because I have a place for everything.
One last question.
Sure.
And I have a guess, but what's your guys' favorite holiday?
Probably St. Patty's Day.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving.
St. Patty's Day.
Labor Day's really underrated.
Labor Day needs to be bigger than it is.
Yeah.
It's a good holiday.
Like, when do you not wear white pants? Because isn't every day after Labor Day?
Yeah. And then our third favorite would probably be can't think.
You guys feel like
4th of July.
Like you'd be the coolest couple during Halloween.
We have fun. We have a lot of fun.
Do you guys like dress up the house and really take it there?
Our house kind of always looks.
Well,
like
I leave Halloween decorations up year round. They are just decorations now.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
If I could go a little more goth with stuff, like cool spooky, I would. But our cats ruin furniture, so I don't want to spend money. Like, I started cutting their nails, but I don't want to spend money on cool furniture until I've got we were supposed to cut their nails before we left, and I didn't. They're probably ripping the shit out of our couch right now.
You guys paint and carve pumpkins and...
Not too much of that.
No.
Yeah.
I paint on pumpkins. Yeah. We'll paint on pumpkins.
Because you got to throw it away.
Yeah. Well, we put it into the woods behind our house.
Yeah.
Well, chipmunks got
deer.
Eat.
Deer love.
Yeah.
Deer love
if
pumpkin.
you're going to eat a full deer, you got to feed that deer.
You got to trick them into coming around.
But Halloween, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you guys should definitely check out Gus Fink. He's one of my favorite artists that I see online right now, and just like slowly creep on him and just like see every piece he does. And his beautiful wife, Emi Boz.
Emi
_Boz. If you look it up, it's my art. That's my thing. I don't do the typical girl thing where it's like my face.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the art.
Yeah.
Let's be here for
it's
the
all
art.
about the art.
Yeah, not this.
Yeah, I don't do too much selfie stuff myself.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out to LA.
Thank you, man.
See you a lot
thanks
more.
for having us on the show.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
Fun time.
All right. See you guys later. This is High Functioning. Bye.
Now tuned into the
High Functioning Show.
in the place to be.
Don't shout, don't run, don't hide, don't sky. This is me coming to you natural and live.
Oh, yeah.
How y'all feel out there?
All right. And it goes a little something like this. 1, 2. Check this out.